Today, striking Fred Meyer employees returned to the job after a week on the picket line. In a statement today, the union called the strike a win for members, saying Fred Meyer now understands how many of its workers want change. They're also asking the public to boycott the stores until they reach a deal. Negotiations are set to resume a week from tomorrow on September 11th. During last night's show, we talked about the strength of unions here at home and across the country. And several of you wrote to us and called us with your thoughts on unions. And because we're a different kind of show and we try to feature your opinions, we like to include them as often as we can. And it doesn't matter whether you're commenting on the live show or you're watching us later. We look for all that. Many of you, as expected in this area, are pretty pro-union.
I'm all for unions, 100%. We wouldn't have what we have now if it weren't for unions. Anybody could just fire you whenever they wanted to. They could have any kind of salary, any kind of health care. People need to stop and think about that. I have been a union worker all my life.
And Karen wrote to us to say, my father was a chief litigator against unions. 45 years ago, he advised me as a young person entering the job market, join the union and invest all you can in your retirement. As a retiree, he was a very smart person. She's now retired. But not everyone is all in on unions. Some of you have some concerns, like this viewer named Steve.
Thanks for covering unions and their influence on public policy. What about accountability? Voters don't elect these decision makers, and they have inordinate influence over how we've responded in terms of the homeless crisis and treatment, and especially with education. I'm really discouraged that none of the lawmakers that we've elected have taken a tougher stance to demand accountability.
And Greg wrote to us to say, the only issue I have is with public unions. They are organizing against taxpayers. The people that they negotiate with are politicians. They aren't arguing against companies keeping too much profit. And we'll end on this from a viewer who signed their email GY. I am the product of two parents that belong to unions. I believe the union's strength at that time was instrumental in living a medium-income family life. I'm also a non-union manager that has experienced that opposite grievance process that protected the incompetent and lazy and very dangerous union employee. They went on, conclusion, the union is necessary to counterbalance the greedy corporation culture despite the negative support of the idiots.